Before starting the video, just see this short clip.
Things women find unattractive in modern day men. Number 1, men who are in touch with their feminine side. Examples of the modern day men being in touch with their feminine side. Commonly, guys now are almost overly emotional. Number 2 is pick-me boys. Now, a pick-me boy is a guy who's fishing for compliments. Oh my God, I'm just so ugly. It's because they want you to call them cute or attractive. Or a pick-me boy is a guy saying, no one's ever gonna wanna date me. If you keep talking like that, no one really is gonna wanna date you. Number 3 is guys who do not work out or stay in shape. Girl wants a boy who can pick them up. If my boy's arms were smaller than mine, 1, that would make me feel self-conscious, and 2, it just would not be attractive. Now, although no one ever says it, physical attributes in a man are extremely attractive. People always think that that is a bad thing, but just because you're attracted to how someone looks does not mean it's a bad thing. Obviously, personality is a huge thing as well, but physical attributes also just increases attractiveness so much.
Can you see their double standards? For example, modern women. I want a guy who stays in shape. Man, I want a girl who stays in shape. This will lead to the drama of body shaming by women who actually want men to change their physique for them. The double standards and lack of accountability are oozing from this video right now, isn't it, guys? What's your take on it? Comment down. Another example of this double standard will be modern women. Here are the top 500 things we want in a man. Modern men. Can we have someone who's fit and friendly? Also, modern women. How dare you? What is unattractive in modern-day women is they won't give you the time of day when you are on your grind, but suddenly appear when you have already established yourself. I'm still the same person, except now I have money and status. These modern-day women don't love men. They just love the lifestyle that their man can provide for them. Now let's get back to our topic. Nowadays, feminists raised a slogan, "Stop Toxic Masculinity," which has nearly turned into the default motto of the present world. Toxic masculinity must be one of the most hazardous points to discuss nowadays. There are fights and complete explosions by individuals who even venture to say that men shouldn't actually exist. Obviously, there are men who are fierce, have zero power over their feelings, and simply do as they feel. Yet they are not what masculinity is intended to epitomize. Keep this to you. On the off chance that one is controlled by feelings instead of astuteness, they never had genuine masculinity regardless. Yet, no matter what this multitude of wretched endeavors that society is attempting to make to quiet the resilient men, one thing is clear. Manly men have existed, and will keep on existing. So in the event that they attempt to mark your actual masculinity as toxic, so be it. Value that disdains from the world and continues to develop. The right ladylike lady will constantly cherish a manly man, who, by this world's definition, is fairly toxic. And that is precisely the exact thing you are going to learn. The 4 most toxic manly traits that ladies subtly and subliminally love. You might contradict a few focuses from the get-go. However, after some time, you will see the value and reality in them. Trait number 1. Be totally free and confident. Men have consistently shaped fraternities starting from the start of this world. Indeed, even the absolute most awful and evil of men have shaped fellowships as a result of the gifts it conveys inside itself. Yet, this is the very thing that most men don't understand. The best fellowships are where every individual from the gathering is profoundly talented. It resembles assembling a football crew. You need to snatch the most elite ability and set up them into one group. The equivalent is valid for fraternity and the adoration you get from a lady. At the point when people around you see your abilities, your accomplishments, your desires, your objectives, they will naturally maintain that you should be in their group. Yet, everything starts with being autonomous. You can't figure out how to be solid by continuously depending on somebody. To progress from a kid into a man, there should come a point in your life when you really start to lead the pack. To this end, you will frequently hear a few men say that you ought to move out of your folks' home as fast as conceivable, so you can get familiar with the craft of becoming free. Consider a man living with his folks. He washes one dish and gets lauded for it, and the remainder of the time he squanders it playing computer games or busting his nuts. The cruel truth is that ladies would see a man like that and think, for what reason is he powerless to the point that he can't take care of himself? Sibling, Always remember that as a man, your responsibility is to help other people and tackle their concerns. It's okay to be helped, yet never underestimate it, and in no way ever make it the standard for yourself. To take care of business means to give more than you get, period. Trait number 2, an all-out emotionless psyche. Basically, everybody nowadays loathes being in charge of their feelings. Envision an existence where everybody has zero command over how they feel, where the disarray inside is responsible for the regulations which control society. It could appear to be an inconceivable situation to some of you, yet actually precisely where we live at present. Assuming you go on Instagram, you will see various things young ladies will more often than not have in their profiles, such as #surlyyounglady or #mindsetswings. The miserable truth is that men of today are living with a similar outlook. They carry on like 20-year-old young ladies with temperament swings. Gracious, I don't feel like it. Let me skirt the rec center. Or, gracious, I just had a terrible day, so let me become penniless a nut to an arbitrary young lady on a screen without taking some responsibility. And all of a sudden, their feelings begin to control them and not the reverse way around. Youthful sibling, pay attention to me cautiously. Ladies notice this conduct change in you and are shocked by it. Get this squarely in your mind. You will not at any point have a sound and stable relationship with a lady, on the off chance that you continue to carry on with your feelings. This signs to the lady that you will make a truly shaky life accomplice who couldn't give security to her kids in the long haul. So, what's the arrangement? Basic. Become indifferent. Society could call you toxic for this. However, holding your feelings within proper limits is the one thing that will separate you from most different men. An intellectually resilient man can continuously draw in every one of the ladies they need essentially, on the grounds that they're in genuine control of their activities. At the point when his companions will be worn out and prepared to look for solace, he will be out there working and accomplishing his objectives. At the point when different men take their foot off the gas, he will race quicker than any time in recent memory. Trait number 3. Negligence ladies. This one could sound hostile and, surprisingly, misanthropic to some of you. However, continue to tune in. Contemplate each of our siblings who set ladies up in place of worship and make them their only motivation to reside. Contemplate how they get utilized, abused, and discarded like trash by similar individuals who they love to such an extent. If you would rather not end up like them, then, at that point, begin by removing esteem from your concept of ladies, and alongside that, be careful about everything they say to you and their thought process. Keep in mind, the objective of this video isn't to transform you into a beast, however to make you appealing to ladies. At the point when you quit giving ladies your approval free of charge and have some regard for yourself, they will start to see you. Some could try and want you. In any case, the reality stays that you are not lifting their self-confidence like different men around you. By giving worth to your time, you give worth to yourself and your choices. The inferior quality present-day ladies who are there only for entertainment purposes will abhor you, yet the great ladylike ladies will pursue you. Furthermore, here's some counsel that is not really socially sensitive, however, will save you a lot of harm. Listen intently. Try not to respect a lady's viewpoint about specific themes as being correct like clockwork. This may be the most dubious snippet of data in this video, yet in all actuality ladies and men are various animals completely, and one's recommendation probably won't matter to the next appropriately. Obviously, assuming you hear a lady state logical or verifiable realities, you shouldn't imagine that she's lying. In any case, assuming you converse with any lady about things, for example, love or bliss, that is the point at which you ought to define a boundary, dissect her perspectives, and choose with your own judicious brain whether what she's talking about is right. She isn't a divine being whose assessment will be right without fail, despite the fact that ladies will compel a deception on you to make themselves look as the person who is right. In any case, don't succumb to that snare. At last, trait number 4. Seek the main spot. It's so miserable to feel that even this point would be thought of as toxic by society. However, current men tend to move towards life in an extremely feeble way, a propensity for dread. Believe it or not, they fear going up against each other in light of the fact that they're either not sufficiently able to beat another person, or they've basically been conditioned into accepting that opposition is terrible. However, we as a whole, Realize what occurs in the event that you remove rivalry from a man's life. You get brown noses, failures, discouraged and forlorn huge young men, and phony extremely confident men who can't get anything in their life. What's more, ladies won't recognize these individuals' presence since they'll be too centered around those couple of men who really contended and won their own fights. Many individuals say simply, go up against yourself, despite the fact that that is just fine. But on the other hand, it's pivotal to check the higher perspective out. Take a gander at individuals around you. To be a ruler, you should do precisely that and out-contend them. It will positively be hard, and it will likewise be excruciating. However, once more, that is only the idea of manly life. Without understanding this, you will not simply stay single perpetually. However, you'll likewise stay frail and weak against different men, who will contend with you. So recall, siblings, toxic masculinity is only a messed up and wrong rendition of what genuine masculinity should be. Practice these 4 traits in your reality, and everybody around you, including your own self, will adore you for it. And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.